Hello, my name is Helen Schmidt, and today I'd like to talk about study habits. First, let's talk about what kind of student you are. When you were in high school, how did you study? Did you study long hours memorizing lists of words, or did you stay up all night studying for tests? Did you work in small groups to complete homework assignments? How do you learn the best? For many years in the United States, there's been an emphasis on learning styles. Students have been encouraged to identify their personal learning styles. We have visual, verbal, kinesthetic, logical, and so forth. Teachers have been trained to encourage students to look for their particular learning styles and make take the best advantage of them. And parents have been encouraged to look for the match between students and teachers' learning styles, the idea being that a student will learn better if the teacher has a similar learning style. Many times we have been told that the only place to study is one room, a place where you always study, that has no distractions, that has all the tools necessary for your studies, your books and your pencils and your pens, a place that's quiet and a place where you can concentrate. Another thing that we've been told is that we have to study only one skill at a time. Proponents of this idea claim that you can't improve an athletic skill unless you practice one skill over and over and over again until you get it right. And so the same should be true for academic skills. Well, we've been encouraging our students to follow these practices for a long time. And a recent article in the New York Times has come out, and it has told us that what we've been doing is all wrong. Isn't that interesting? According to the article, one team of psychologists shows that there is absolutely no evidence at all that children have different learning styles. And the same goes for teaching styles. Some teachers are outgoing, very active. Other teachers are very shy. It doesn't seem to matter what kind of teacher it is. Some teachers teach well and some teachers don't. Children learn from all kinds of teachers, and no one has been able to figure out exactly why that is true. For example, the advice to study in one place is wrong. An experiment in 1978 proved that students learned a list of vocabulary words better when they studied the list in two different rooms instead of just one room. The theory is that the brain makes associations between the background and the material being studied, and that these multiple associations help us to remember what is being studied. Another example is the idea that we should study only one skill at a time. Research shows that if a student varies the material and studies, for example, reading, speaking, and vocabulary, rather than just lists of vocabulary, the brain can remember more. The article supports this idea with the fact that musicians mix their skills when they are practicing, and so do athletes. Athletes do drills and they do running and they do all kinds of different things, and those are the things that increase their skill in general. Researchers at the University of South Florida showed that children learn math better when studying mixed problem sets than children who studied only one type of equation. According to researcher Dr. Doug Rower, when students see only problems of the same kind, they know the strategy to use before they even read the problem. With mixed practice, each problem is different from the last one, which means kids must learn how to choose the appropriate procedure, just like they would have to do on a test. Experiments in learning to distinguish unfamiliar artists' painting styles also showed students and adults of retirement age benefited from viewing mixed collections of paintings rather than studying one artist after another. Psychologist Nate Cornell of Williams College reported that the brain is picking up deeper patterns when seeing assortments of paintings. It's picking up what's similar and what's different. Researchers surprised us even further with news that apparently testing itself helps us remember. Testing not only measures knowledge, but changes it, and happily in the direction of more certainty, not less, says Dr. Henry L. Roediger III, who is a psychologist at Washington University in St. Louis. That means that taking a test on a material is very powerful itself. That taking a test on material is even more helpful than studying the material 2 times. Taking a test on material, because it is difficult to take a test, helps us to remember. So the difficulty itself helps us remember. So we should have more tests, right? Of course, all these techniques, changing your study place, mixing your skills, and self-testing are not the only things that matter. Your motivation is still your #1 reason for success. Thank you.